Capricorn, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for late July, moving into early August 2024. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business as always and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we could dip our toes in the energy and see what's happening for the lovely Capricorn collective. My guides, what's going on for my good friends? And I hope you're all doing fantastic. Let's see what's up here. What energies, messages, insights can you pull? And yeah, we're just going to take a real quick look at this first card, then we'll get into the full reading itself. At the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot just to see what might be in the shadows or what shadow work you can lean in on, which is always interesting. But let's get it going here. Let's rock and see what we got for Capricorn. Late July, early August. What's going on? Okay. The deck is being a little jumpy here. There we go. Thank you. Yeah, big forward movement, forward progress, action-based type of energy that we're leading off with. And I will say this, it feels very Capricorn-like to me. Capricorn is a cardinal sign, all about that action and forward progress. So this is a really good card to start off with. Now, before we fully dive into that, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the July subscriber surprise towards the end, so you might want to check that out. Also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, you know I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, into the reading. Let's talk a little bit more about this card. So it does have some interesting imagery on it. We see that woman, we see that sailing boat or ship in the background, there's birds, and notice that they're all going in the exact same direction. Now this does remind me of the Chariot, big action, forward momentum focus here. So for some of you, whether you're revving up the engines, getting ready to go, getting ready to do something, for a portion of you, this could just represent travel, distance, things like that. But to me, it's like, all right, I'm moving forward. That's the big energy here. It's like, all right, how can we progress? How can we move something forward? Because all that energy is pushing to one side. So in this time, just know you might be getting motivated to make a big move of some sort, or just some sort of action is brewing. Another thing I do say about this card, it can be a little fiery. That's how it feels to me. So when I see fire energy, that could be great. That's explosive in a good way, but it could sometimes be a little unpredictable. Okay, so there might be something you need to take your time with or temper your expectations when this card is here. But again, big future focus. If that's not something you're doing right now, this could be Spirit saying, hey, Capricorn, look a little bit down the line. Living in the present is always a good thing, but having a plan for the future. So we're just going to leave it at that for now. Let's get into tarot. And I always say this first card here, it doesn't make or break the reading. It's just a little footnote. Let's get you 3 cards in the upright. Then we'll get into that intuitive juiciness. Shuffle it up one time here for my Cappies. Please, what's going on for my good friends? And while we get this deck shuffled up and ready to go, let's talk about last week's reading. It was titled A Massive Offer. There was a lot of ace energy in the mix, big energy of new cycles, new things coming in. So I was really liking the refreshed energy I was picking up, and that could bleed over for a couple of weeks. So for a lot of you, if you've been striving in a new direction, kind of like what we're seeing here, very good positive energy. And offers don't always have to just be monetary. They could even be emotional as well. So there could be a lot of different combos happening. But let's see what shows up for you this week. As you know, energy is very fluid, never set in stone. So only take this how it hits for you. Because we could be seeing your vibe or someone that you're linked to. Let's get it going. 3 cards for the Cappies. What is happening? Late July into early August. Okay, we got the Magician in position number 1. I do like that. Big card of manifesting, creating, extremely spiritual. And we will talk about this Magician a little further in depth momentarily. Let's see what else you got. Very quick. Yeah, here's that fiery energy I was talking about with that Oracle card. We have the Knight of Wands making moves. Big energy of making moves. Let's get one more out here and we'll piece it all together. What's happening? Strong energy, very strong energy. Okay, we have the 10 of Pentacles. Wow. So one of the better cards, and I'm going to really try my best not to get too like overly excited or ambitious with this energy, but it seems like for a lot of you, you could be turning a corner soon in one way or another, especially with how it was stacking up last week and now what I'm seeing. But let's go through. I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes, and we'll get into that juicy intuitive stuff. So at first look, first glance, a nice little mixture of elements going here. We do have this major arcana, the master of all elements with that Magician. We have fire, which is about action and moving forward. And we have nice earthy energy on the back end. Now, I always say, in my opinion, swords, which is air, and water, which is the cup suit, represent the internals, like the emotion and the mind. When we see a lot of earth and fire, it talks about the world around you. It's about the actions you take and the things that happen in your world, not just the internals. So there could be a big focus on that for a lot of you, but I do see action. I see a possible really good result. So let's go through piece by piece and really start to build this out. Position number one, we have the Magician. As I already mentioned, master of all elements. If you inspect the Magician card closely, you'll see that every suit is represented here. We have the cups, the swords, the wands, the pentacles. So this to me is a huge card of creation and manifesting. And with the energy we saw last week, now tying in with this, for a lot of you, if you're not purposely manifesting something or not purposely trying to bring something into your life, just know that that energy is heightened. You could really be attracting a lot of things to you magnetically, whether it's situations, whether it's individuals, and especially with this Knight of Wands next to it, I'm getting a magnetic pull, a magnetic attraction of some kind. So that's something to keep on your mind. Now, the Magician, aside from the manifesting, big card of spirituality, big card of ritual, routine. But another thing I always say, because I always like to mention the positive and the challenge, the Magician could be about control, right? And in the positive sense, that's good, like steering your own ship, steering your own boat. But when we get to the rough aspects, it could be someone that's too controlling, right? Or someone that's like very much a micromanager, or understanding that sometimes in life there's things that are out of our hands. But again, I'm not going to read this as a challenge yet. I mean, we still need to see the clarifier. It's extremely powerful, universal, spiritual. Now, moving to the second position, we have our good pal here, the Knight of Wands himself. So a portion of you might be connected to a fire sign, so Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. If that is not the case, again, similar to that Oracle card, this Knight of Wands is all about action. All knights are. This is the second fastest one. Fire energy is explosive. It's making moves. It's not sitting back. It's not resting on its laurels. But again, it could also be a little unpredictable. So we could just be speaking about an action or forward movement. Again, it could be a conversation, right? All knights are also messengers, similar to pages. So we'll see how this energy is starting to flow. But if we look at how the imagery was, this Knight of Wands is like moving towards this Magician, and that's really cueing me into a lot of you drawing things in. Sometimes in life we have to go out and get it. Sometimes in life things plop in our lap, and for a lot of Capricorns, I'm just seeing you pull things in, which is really cool. Now, moving to the back end, and we'll look into this further. The rougher side of this Knight of Wands, though, once again, is unpredictable, a little volatile. This could represent a person that's unpredictable too. But onto the back end, the complete opposite, we have the Ten of Pentacles, one of the best cards in the whole entire tarot deck. Now, all tens in tarot represent the close of a cycle, possible ending. This is more like a happy ending. The Ten of Pentacles to me is level up type of energy. It's winning, it's increase, it's expansive. So I really like this whenever it shows up. It's very stable as well. Other things that could be represented here is the home, living situation, property. This could also represent the family unit or people that you're related to. But if that's not the case, we could just be looking like at an overall increase of some kind or good stability in its positive sense. When we get to the challenge of the Ten of Pentacles, it could be a little unbending, if that makes sense, where it's like it's set, it's not moving, it's unbending. I'm not quite getting that vibe here, especially with how this energy is moving on the front end, but this could be a very good result coming in for a lot of you, regardless of what you're dealing with. So I want to dive deeper on all of it, Capricorn. Let's jump in and clarify. Okay, let's get a good shuffle here. What do we got for the Cappies, my gods and spirit team? What's going on for my good friends? And yes, this is where I go intuitive with the message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot, because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation, and I'm just giving you mine. Let's go in on that Magician. And yes, if you're a reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you're feeling any messages you want to give to Capricorn, you can drop it in the comments. I don't mind at all. All right, Magician time. What's this manifesting? What's this energy about? Very quick. Very, very quick. Hey, we got our good friend here, the King of Cups, aka Kyle of Cups himself, without a beard. He has a drink in his hand. He's sipping from that goblet. He's having a grand old time. For a lot of you now, we're picking up some water sign energy, which is cool, especially if you're connected to one. Now, kings in tarot represent control of their respective suit. So interestingly, when we have a king underneath the Magician, to me, this is someone who's like, I got this under control. I got a plan in place, or it doesn't matter what happens. Again, I had this unbending, unbroken type of energy on the back end. And even with the fluid energy on the front with the King of Cups, I am getting that vibe of someone who's like, yeah, I got this, very confident, which is intriguing to me. Now, I will say this, with this magician and the way the energy is flowing for a lot of you, the magnetism. And I say there's some zodiac signs that are a little more magnetic than others, but we all go through different waves. The Capricorn collective, you could be drawing a lot of people towards you, or situations, even if you're not really trying. That's kind of the energy I'm picking up here. Is like, yeah, we have action, we have movement, but you might not have to put through a lot of effort to pull these things towards you. So again, this could be a person like, hey, here it comes, here they come type of energy. If that's not the case, I feel like a nice, sturdy type of vibe. For a portion of you, if you're going through a difficult time, this could easily represent someone just trying to keep an even keeled, like, all right, I'm going to keep an even keeled head about this. I'm not going to get too extreme. I'm not going to think in extremes. I'm just nice down the middle. So that could be good. And again, if you're dealing with emotional situations, some of you could be even manifesting romantic or love things as well. But if that's not the case, I get a nice even-keeled energy, but pulling people in. Let's keep moving over to that Knight of Wands. I don't want to over talk that. It is what it is, right? Let's see why the Knight of Wands is here, because this could be some action. So why is the Knight here? Thank you. Another person. So again, now we do have a card that could represent you showing up. Now, when I see the Knight of Wands with the Knight of Pentacles, these are two complete opposites. And notice that they're headed in different directions. I do feel for some of you, if you're going through any group situations, whether it's work, whether it's like family, things like that, it's very important to get everyone on board and moving in the same direction, okay? Especially with all these individuals, all these people starting to show up. For some of you, even though I said you're attracting and pulling things in, it might not be your style to just sit back and see what happens. For some of you, you might be getting ready to make a big move. And we've been seeing it since the beginning, like that energy building, something's building up. I'm about to make something happen, and we're picking it up here. But again, the slow and steady energy is feeling nice with this Knight of Pentacles. And it, again, like with this magician, now it's surrounded by all these different people. We don't have to single it out to one sign or another, because we have almost the whole damn zodiac here. It's just sending that big picture of the magnetism of you pulling people in. So let's keep moving. Again, very simple type of energy here. Some of you might not be sitting back. You might just be making big moves yourself, or planning on it at the very least. Let's see what that 10 of Pentacles is. Then we'll do our quick recap before we get into the shadow card. So why is the 10 of Pentacles here? Thank you. Surprise, surprise, another person. We have the Queen of Cups herself. Again, very, very stable, very emotional. This is the internals, right? So when I was speaking about the emotional control we're picking up in the front, this is a lot of depth. For a big portion of you, if you are going through a difficult time, this is things starting to settle down. A lot of stability coming in here, and these are very long-lasting types of energies. So just also know that certain things you might be going through right now, they have long-lasting implications, okay? And I'm not saying that to be an alarmist or anything like that, but the Queen of Cups, aside from the water sign energy, has a lot of similarities to this king here. This is someone that feels things very deeply. This is an energy of love, care, nurturing, ultimate mother figure when she is in the mix. Is extremely fertile as well. So I like her underneath the 10 of Pentacles because it's bringing blessings into this reading. So aside from all this action, all these people, all this manifesting, we have this beautiful energy of blessings coming in for a lot of Capricorns. Now, again, I know some Capricorns out there, you might be doing great right now. Some of you might be a slow time. For another portion of you, you might really be going through a rough one. If that's the case, it doesn't really matter with what I'm seeing here, because the energy is taking a turn. There's big blessings coming in. I feel like this whole reading is very claimable, but I don't often see this many court cards in a Capricorn reading. You know, I see it sometimes in Leo readings, Scorpio readings, the signs that are like classically magnetic like that. But again, for a lot of you, just pulling things in. Let's go through and do a quick recap. Then we'll get into the shadow card. And it has been a theme. We have this beautiful energy of blessings on the back end. But if you kindly look in the box, position number 1, we have the Magician with the King of Cups himself. I did say this could be someone with a nice even-keeled way about them. For some of you, you might be practicing emotional control. Like, all right, I just need to keep my head on straight about this. And I see that succeeding. So with whatever it is you're going through, if you just keep a nice neutral approach, that's the best way. Don't go too far extreme in one way or another like these 2 knights we have. Again, I'm getting this manifesting of either a specific individual, but with all these people surrounding this magician, bringing things in, again, here they come type of energy. Okay, whether you want them to or whether you don't, I mean, that's really up to you and whatever it is you're going through. It feels like a vacuum. It's felt like that since the very beginning to me. Moving to the center, we have the Knight of Wands with the Knight of Pentacles in the upright. So some of you, even if I'm saying all this stuff is coming your way, you might just not be the type of person that sits back and waits for things to happen. Some of you might be planning a big move or action or a little bit of a shakeup, but not anything unhinged. So again, I feel for some of you getting ready to take some action in one way or another, but I feel like it reinforces what we were seeing here in the front. Don't go too far extreme in one way or another. Like a nice, neutral, even-keeled approach could really help you in various different areas. Moving to the back end, we have the 10 of Pentacles with the Queen of Cups in the upright. Beautiful, nurturing, loving type of energy. Again, we're just manifesting all this stuff. We're bringing it all in, and it feels very possible. I feel for a lot of Capricorns, you could turn a corner in this time. Massive energy of blessings on the back end. So please take a screenshot of that if you want to look into it further. Let's see what's in the shadows for you. So let's get a good shuffle here. And if you are cross-watching for a Capricorn, just know that now might be a good time to approach and fix things if that's something you want to do, obviously. But let's see what's happening. What do we got here for Capricorn in the shadows? And yeah, I always like to pull one shadow card at the very end just to see whether it's something within you or something you don't quite see. Let's just pull it and see what happens. It doesn't always have to be a bad thing. Let's get you one. And if you made it to this point in reading, please feel free to check out channel memberships. I'll put a link for it in the comments below. It's a beautiful way to support the channel, and I have much love for all my channel members. All right, shadow time. What's going on here? Quick. Interesting. 5 of Swords. So I find this very peculiar, the fact that we have so many people in different energies approaching, but the 5 of Swords shows up in the shadows. So for some of you, just be very discerning about the people and things that you're pulling into your life in this time, especially with the big variety we have going on. Watch out for individuals that might be a little bit selfish or a little set in their ways. When I see the 5 of Swords, it can be a little combative. But at the same time, this could be a self-focus. So for a portion of you, even though we have all this energy that's approaching and all these situations or possible people, this could be spirit telling you like, hey, Capricorn, it's more about how you react. It's more about focusing on yourself, which could be a really good thing. Now, I will say this, with the 5 of Swords in the shadows, some of you may have had some real difficulties with a specific person. With the selfishness and combativeness, watch out for narcissistic individuals as well. But again, I feel for some of you, although these energies are coming towards you, your approach and your reactions and your self-focus is the most important. So we'll just leave it at that for now, Capricorn. That's what I have for you this week. Don't click away just yet, though. I'm going to give you the details of the July subscriber surprise. If you would like to book a personal reading with me, you can check out my digital calendar at my website, mastermetaphysics.com. The link is down below, but for the July subscriber surprise, I'm giving away 2 copies of another one of my favorite decks, the Wizard's Tarot. Absolutely beautiful and works great. So if you'd like to get your name in for this, it's 2 simple things. As always, my friends, first, you must be subscribed. And second, since I have the travel bug lately, let me know down in the comments what is the most beautiful place you visited in person. You'll be entered to win, and at the end of the month, the winners will be announced in my community tab. As always, my friends, much love, and I'll see you soon.